News. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Half a day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Weekend Edition. I'm Mitsuki Horiyama. Thank you for tuning in this evening. A man gets 10 years in prison after being accused of brutally beating an 82-year-old man known to him. Daniel De Pomelo, who was charged with aggravated assault and family violence, took a no-contest plea. He contends he never attacked the victim, but prosecutors read a letter from De Pomelo's accuser asking the court to give him the maximum sentence. Presiding Judge Alberto Lamarena questioned why prosecutors didn't charge him with aggravated murder. De Pomelo got 10 years in the Department of Corrections prison with credit for the 2 years he already served. Well, the Guam Advisory Committee to the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights is hosting a series of virtual public meetings to investigate the overrepresentation of Kofa migrants within Guam's criminal justice system. The first briefing convened recently with testimony from various stakeholders.
I feel embarrassed, and at the same time, really mad at these young men. Because this is not depicting the true picture of who we are as people from the region.
Are Kofa migrants overrepresented in Guam's criminal justice system? And what are the underlying factors? That's what the Guam Advisory Committee to the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights is investigating with a series of virtual public meetings, hearing testimony from various stakeholders. Former Governor of Chuuk and University of Guam Public Administration Professor Dr. Ancito Walter shares how even he still gets nervous when walking into a government building.
I'm scared. I don't even want to go in there. Just imagine, here I am. I've been in the United States since 1972, and I'm still nervous. What would you say for those other people that, they do not speak your language?
The cultural and language barrier is just one example of the challenges FAS citizens face when they make the move to Guam for better opportunities. Public Defender Service Corporation Executive Director Stephen Hattori pointing out other hurdles like discriminatory policies.
Obviously, the KOFA deportation initiative created by the Attorney General. We saw the billboard earlier. That's clearly a discriminatory practice. Media, that's another issue, especially social media.
But despite the social perception, he says data shows the number of cases with Kofa migrants is dropping.
The number of individuals is dropping in terms of the number of FSM or Chuukese clients that we're getting is dropping. Like in 2013, numerically, there were 327 Chuukese clients, and last year, there were 182, right?
Josie Howard, founder and CEO of We Are Oceania, a Hawaii nonprofit organization that serves and empowers Hawaii's Micronesian community, says the complex issue needs to be looked through a cultural lens.
I think in our culture, we don't have poverty because we live off the land and we live off the family. The families support each other. We may be poor. We don't have the house, the ideal living way, but we are happy. We live off the land. And when we're in a modern society, then you have a different lifestyle that you have to abide by, that then you become victim because you don't have the means. So then you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. It's all about survival.
The committee will continue to engage in critical dialogue open virtually to the public. For more information, just visit KUAM.com.
Hoping to bring down the cost for fuel for ratepayers, the Guam Power Authority reporting the new Goodu power plant is around 90% completed. The Consolidated Commission on Utilities and the PUC approving the power plant to come online by September 30th of next year. It's said to be the cornerstone for renewables and the solution to GPA's goal to reduce the amount of oil it imports, which would ultimately reduce costs for ratepayers. GPA General Manager John Beneventi noting fuel costs rose to around 40 cents per kilowatt hour just this year. He hopes the Goodu power plant will bring that price down.
The import of oil will drop by almost 879 or close to 900,000 barrels a year because of the efficiency of the machine. So that means that's 900,000. So barrels, that's a lot of money now that will stay within the economy of the island.
To watch GPA's full session, just visit KUAM.com. Well, the federal receiver overseeing Waterworks Authority earlier this week, GWA rejected a $2.6 million claim over the Darrow Road waterline leak, which receiver Gershman Brigner Bratton contends contributed to the increased leachate since the dump's closure.
This vigorously, and the next step is to meet with GWA and explore insurance issues, their questions, answers. Ideally, I mean, they should have taken the settlement offer, back in August 2023. So we report to the court on. We've been reporting to the court on the GWA claim since 2020. I think since the court ordered it. I think it was in 2023.
Yes.
And we have been updating the court. The court has tasked the receiver with pursuing this claim, and it has done so.
That was attorney Joyce Tang, who says they are now seeking $4.4 million. Meantime, the receiver is also being sued by the government of Guam for the overflow of leachate seeping into the Lonfit River, which the receiver moved to block, citing immunity. Plus, the receiver continues to work on a transition plan to hand over the reins of the dump closure to solid waste. The next status hearing is set for September 11th. The recently appointed acting public health director will go before senators this week. A public hearing will be held Monday to discuss the appointment of Teresa Arreola to lead the local health agency. Prior to the government's appointment, Arreola served as a director of the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center for more than 5 years. Her records show she worked to comply with the requirements of the 14-year federal receivership, which was vacated by the courts. She also saw the department through 2 successful reaccreditations and reopened the department's 16-bed detox unit that had been closed for 17 years. She also served as the executive director of Sanctuary of Guam. Arreola's hearing is scheduled for Monday at 5 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building in Hagåtña. Well, prosecutor Sean Brown is set to go before senators for a public hearing on his appointment to serve as magistrate judge in the Superior Court of Guam. Chief Justice Robert Torres appointed Brown as magistrate judge. Benjamin Cizon's term is set to conclude in October. Attorney Brown was one of 3 candidates identified by the Guam Bar Association. A panel then unanimously selected Brown, Torres stating he satisfies the requisite statutory qualifications and has the competence, integrity, experience, and temperament to be successful as a magistrate. He currently works as a prosecutor with the Office of the Attorney General of Guam. In May, Brown expressed interest in the job, stating he has a unique enthusiasm for law and a strong desire to be involved with the administration of justice for the island of Guam. His hearing is set for Thursday, August 29th at 5:30 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building in Hagåtña. Well, Guam is not only home to all of the U.S., but at several times in history, Guam is not only a place for all of us, but at several times in history, a safe haven for many. And a researcher from the mainland whose family sought refuge during a very troubling time is making sure the connections between Guam and Operation New Life stay strong. It's a meaningful project since his family was among the refugees.
Dr. Nam Kim from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. Go Badgers!
Go Badgers, yes. Jason, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your presence here, Doc. And your story is amazing because the good doctor has joined us on the island here because he is a study of anthropology, and your own family fled Vietnam when Saigon fell.
That's
and
right.
you have now come back to actually share with us the amazing memories that you have, but also solicit from our community people that may have of those things so that you can do your work and essentially connect history.
Right, that's right. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here and to be speaking with you. So as you mentioned, my family and I left Vietnam April 29, 1975. This was the day before the city was taken. We fled by a helicopter off the rooftop of the USAID building and got out. I was only a year old at the time, so I don't remember any of this. But we left Saigon, we went through different vehicles all the way out to the coast, and we landed on the USS Midway that took us to a different ship, a eventually took us to the Philippines, and then we were brought to Guam. So we were here in May and June of 1975 as part of Operation New Life. In the last 10 years or so, I've been documenting my parents' family histories, their respective origin stories in Korea as well as in Vietnam. So I have mixed ancestry. My father is Korean, my mother is Vietnamese. But in doing this research, one pivotal episode of their life histories would be our time spent here. And that got me reading about the history of Operation New Life and about Guam. So this is one image. I can show some more.
Please.
So this is an image. We landed on the USS Midway aircraft carrier, but then we were transferred to other vessels. This is one of the vessels that we were on. My father took this image, and you can just see the mass of life.
How can people get in contact with you if they have something to share, or even if they want to like share some sort of like a oral testimony of like something I was told, or someone I'm related to?
Right. So they can start with an email to info@guamphilharmonic.org. They can also get in touch with me directly. My information is at the University of Wisconsin-Madison Department of Anthropology. So my bio is there. My contact information is up there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess final question is the most obvious is, you can't tire doing this work. You are going to continue to research, to investigate, to inquire and everything. Like, at what point will you be satisfied, or if at all, like with what you've been able to find?
I think there's satisfaction along the way. There's no question about that. But I also think that there is no end for this project. In my mind, it's one thing to be able to raise awareness around this very important historical episode, but the lessons we learned from that can be replicated and shared beyond just the Cold War, beyond the Vietnam conflict. We can talk about refugee migration and displacement that's ongoing in the world today.
Clear the Shelters, brought to you by the KUAM Care Force, Raising Canes, Guam Animals in Need, the Boonie Fly Project, and the Bougie Boonie. Let's all do our part and clear the shelters.
It's time to help clear the shelters as a global campaign to help to find loving homes for our furry friends. Check out the latest fur babies adopted by some incredible people in the community.
A big congratulations to all those who have provided forever homes to Mammoth, Bud, Bo-Katan, Taffy and Clay, Kadasi, Cameron, Nix, Patrice, and Couture. Clear the Shelters, now in its 10th year, is NBC's universal campaign to find loving homes for our furry friends. The KUAM Care Force, along with our partners Guam Animals in Need, the Boonie Flight Project, Raising Canes, and the Bougie Boonie, is proud to once again support this campaign to clear the shelters. Guam Animals in Need will be offering special adoption prices for the month of August. Then, on National Dog Day, which is Monday, August 26th, adoption prices are only $75. Every Friday is Fridays, with microchips for only $5. Every Saturday, GAIN will be offering free donuts for adopters. Please join us on August 31st for the Clear the Shelters Bash. Let's all help clear the shelters.
If you love beer, this story is for you. A Delaware man has the greatest, most massive collection of beer cans, bottles, and growlers, and his collection just keeps growing. Tim Furlong got himself invited into this basement beer paradise, and he got a look for all of us.
You've never seen anything like it. Paul and Debbie have a nice house inside and out, but head for the basement of their Middletown, Delaware home. We're going down there?
You go first.
And you will find this many beer cans and bottles and growlers.
6,189.
So when somebody sings 99 bottles of beer on the wall?
Yeah, like, not even close.
Paul started collecting in 1969. He has new cans and bottles.
All Sam Adams beers.
He has old ones too, like from the 1930s old.
These are my oldest cans, and this is Budweiser, first can out of Newark, New Jersey.
As far as organizing his collection, well, there's no sort of brewery decimal system, but there is a strategy.
I kind of keep the breweries together, but if I get a new A can, I got to move 6,000 down the row. You can't do that.
Paul is a member of the Beer Can Collectors of America, which is a real thing. He even gets their magazine. In the basement, beer is everywhere, including hanging from the ceiling, on the walls, and yep.
You gotta have bathroom beers too.
Potty pilsners are a real thing in this dude's crib. There is a train that rolls over your head, each car a different brewery. Now for the sad part, every beer in here is empty so they don't spoil and explode on the walls. And no, Paul didn't drink every single beer here himself.
Oh no, I'll come home many days and there'll be 2 empty cans in my mailbox. There'll be 3 by the front steps. Everybody knows I collect.
So you can see he is literally out of wall space for beer. So where would you go next? Well, behind this secret beer wall, they have this secret beer closet that will soon be lined with shelves for all these cans just sitting here waiting for their turn to be displayed.
Yingling is my beer of choice.
Paul loves his Yingling, but he loves his wife Debbie even more. He should. She's got to be the world's most understanding spouse.
I absolutely am.
As long as the collection stays in the basement, she's cool with it. P.S. She doesn't even like beer, but she loves a happy husband.
I enjoy it through his eyes. I see how much pleasure it gives him, and you know, when we have people down here and he goes to look for a bottle or a can, just how excited he gets about talking.
Oh, people come down here and they say, wow, it's like a museum.
It is like a museum, but one that unfortunately isn't open to the public. If you know Paul, he'll have you down here. If you see him out somewhere, buy him a beer, or at least give him your empty can or bottle.
There's more to come on Weekend Edition. You're watching KUAM.
School's back in session, and Kmart is the ultimate back-to-school headquarters for all your essentials. Stock up on everything you need to ace your classes. From backpacks to crayons, Kmart's got it all in one place. Snack time just got better. Choose from a fantastic selection of snacks and drinks to keep you fueled and focused throughout the day. Get an A+ in style with the newest fashion trends for everyone in the family. Heading to college? Kmart's got the essentials to deck out your dorm in style. Move to the head of the class with Kmart, the one smart shop for unbeatable deals on everything you need to kick off an amazing school year. Kmart, your 24-hour superstore. Your campus, your style, your way.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
On Sunday, Skip Entertainment Company holding a gala to celebrate 40 years. All week long, our Jonah Gincharfers has been shining the spotlight on the history, successes, and recalling special moments with former Skip members.
I think one of the fondest memories I had was when I joined Skip and we had an instructor. Her name is Lady Bird Castillo, and she's from the Philippines. And she used to fly out and teach Skip. She would train us.
Tammy Torres Julie joined Skip when she was in 11th grade, and when she graduated from Academy of Our Lady of Guam in 1989, she remained in Skip until she left for college. And she said Lady Bird was a big highlight for her.
You look back in life, especially when you're in your 50s, like I am now, and Skip really offered me a lot.
Julie, who's a dancer for the WNBA's High Rollers in Las Vegas, said she had aspirations and big dreams of being a dancer, and Skip brought her closer to those goals. She recalls a time she, Dominic Sangil, and Michael Lamecca were selected to perform on Star Search.
We were the first group from Guam to go to Star Search and represent Guam, and that was a major turning point in my life.
For Donica Beneventi, she joined Skip when she was 10 years old, and she remained there until her early 20s. Beneventi says being a mom of 3, she reflects on her time in Skip.
Having moved through travel tournaments with kids, I think back And the way we navigate those with kids now and having just from everything being set up to I'll have my kids uniforms done, all these things. And I think back and I think how we were so independent and how we would, and it's not a comparison and it's not a thing that's oh, we did this and they didn't. What I'm saying is that I think back and we had really depended on each other and we developed such unbelievably close relationships. It was just very grassroots.
She says some of her favorite memories weren't necessarily dancing, but rather the time with one another.
Things like being completely bored in the hotel room or walking around aimlessly at the mall, but not necessarily having money to shop there. Or making Ichiban in the rooms with little percolator, those little percolator things in a cup, and just late nights with Mrs. Knapp talking and how really it's the relationships that we built.
But she says dance and skip allowed for a deep connection with herself and to energy.
Because of what I do now, I realize that being able to tap in and access that literally set me up. It actually set me up to know that I didn't want a desk job. It set me up to know that I wanted to move, that I wanted to express, that I wanted to tapping into those emotions in dance is exactly the same way I can tap into somebody's emotions now when I work with them. And so dance gave me the gift of true awareness.
And here, 40 years later, Skip continues to thrive.
It's a testimony to the strength, the love, the ethics, the dance community, and especially worldwide. Since social media has taken over, look at what Brian Esperon and all of the more recent younger dancers have attained, and it's nice to see the legacy live on, and it's a monster in itself. Skip is a beast.
Forever grateful for the experience and all that came with being a part of Skip.
It's a blessing to the community because kids are still able to join and be a part of the Skip legacy and to continue dancing and living their aspirations and dreams and travel. And like we said, Skip offered a bunch of us the opportunity to travel. I know for myself, it took me everywhere. I've traveled the world because of Skip. So even after I left Skip, I was still traveling as a dancer. And, I'll be 53 this September, and I'm still dancing. So, I'm a living testimony to what Mrs. Knapp and Skip have given birth to. I think for all of us who have had the privilege to dance with Skip and be a part of the Skip family, I think we would be family forever.
And if you're an aspiring artist looking for something to try,
and you're looking to expand your horizons, I think that you should give Skip a chance, and you'll be really surprised at how it will draw out the beast in you.
Happy 40th anniversary, Skip.
Be with Skip, and don't go anywhere. Sports is up next.
Don't need to work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us. for life.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
Okay, guys, the Guam Baseball Academy, the two of you, Bill and Mike, good friends of our show here and good friends of the sports community, and this forum, this opportunity to learn, to get better, to educate yourself on how to take your game to the next level. One thing that I guess most people don't realize, it's for athletes of any sport and it's for parents as well.
Yeah, so the big thing is it's open to, the Friday night presentation is at the NICO, and it's open to the middle school and high school student athletes and their parents. And like you mentioned, it's for all sports. It's not just for softball or baseball, so it's open for all sports.
So if I'm maybe like a paddler or a rugby player, or I do judo, or I even do stuff that's not interscholastic and everything, I can still take stuff away from this.
Sure, yep. But it's more for the people that are looking to go to the next level, whether it's junior college, Division III, Division I. They're going to get some more education on that, on how to prepare both physically and mentally.
And you don't necessarily have to be like an elite all-island player like right now. You could just be someone with, athletic aspirations, or, sports is part of you.
Right, and that's why we're opening up to the middle school, because you never know how the kids are going to develop athletically. So we want to get them started at a young age.
Okay, well, Bill, you are a very successful sports parent. What are the moms and dads and, Ninos and Ninas, even maybe like grandparents, the caretakers, like going to take away from this about their young athletes?
Yeah, so it's not only the kids that are college bound, but it's also the parents giving them some knowledge to things to think about, so they can make decisions this year, next year, beyond on sending their kids away to college. So it's going to be good education for the parents.
And a lot of the information is just about the general process, because like a lot of people are like, okay, well, I apply, I get in, and these days it's like, you may have a video of like a highlight reel of your young one, like on YouTube and everything, and you get noticed. But I mean, there are a sequence of steps you got to go through.
Yeah, and that's one of the presenters. She's going to talk about that, because again, here being on Guam, the athletes are really limited on the exposure, so they have to do a lot of self-promoting if they want to get exposed to the college coaches and that kind of thing. So that's what Tishy's going to talk about.
Okay. Well, let's talk about like the registration. Speaking of process, like how can athletes and their parents make sure that they sign up to be part of this, and what are the costs?
Go ahead, Mike.
So basically the process is pretty easy. Just all the registration for both events is going to be at Guam time, and it's a free event. So there's basically no reason not to go. So, but yeah, it's a free event, and all I have to do is register at Guam time.
Okay, and you've been working on this for for quite some time. I know Katie's been really pushing this, because she sees like the immense value for people. So we want to make sure that ballroom's all packed.
Yeah, this is it's Katie's initiative. So she came to us and says, "Let's do this. Can you guys help organize it?" And of course, we see the value and the benefit for this for our potential college athletes here on Guam that want to go and play sports, or even just go to college. So it fits into our mission with Guam Amateur Baseball and trying to help kids on the island.
There's a lot of opportunities. Again, it's not just for the super, Division I athletes. So that's why the kids need to get educated. There's other options. Like I said, junior college, Division III, Division II, all sorts of community colleges and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities.
And this is a process, Bill, that like you're actually having like the kids and parents meet together like as a family, because I mean, this is their future. So if both parties are involved in everything, it's that much sweeter.
And the parents should join their kids on Friday night, because you're going to get a lot of good information how to navigate college life, whether you play sports or not, going off to college. And these ladies have got a lot of knowledge and experience in those areas.
Basically, the Friday night is going to be split into two different like seminars. One is going to talk about the recruiting and like getting that process, and then the other one, Jessica, she's going to be talking about the mental health, how to prepare, all that kind of stuff for college and sports on the mental side. So.
Okay, and the final question: what does it mean for you, Bill, who's worked with like island youth for so long here, trying to get them ready for the next level, whether that's at the Village League, the national team, Guam Baseball League, or what have you, and everything. Now you're actually getting them ready to possibly go even a step further.
Yeah, so Guam Amateur Baseball, we try to broaden our horizons on, what we can do different and what needs to be done on Guam to help these kids. So, Jessica and Tricia, you know, they were college athletes, and they continue to coach sports, and they're doing the same thing. So we're tagging on to what they've been accomplishing. So it's kind of parallel for us that we can also help kids. And but it's good to see a lot of the 25, 26-year-olds coming back and thanking us for, you know, allowing us to provide sports activities on Guam so they could go to college and play a little bit, whether, you know, even if it's junior college. So it's good to see our kids be successful.
That's what it's all about. Got to give back.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
From the group that brought you Joe Coy and Rob Schneider, Guam Comedy brings you the next big Phil-Am comedy sensation, J.R. de Guzman, live on Guam.
My family and I, when we first moved here, we lived in a storage unit. That would have been like the most awesome episode of Storage Wars.
One show only, Saturday, August 31st at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse.
Your friend, your cousin.
Get your tickets now at guamcomedy.com. J.R. de Guzman, live on Guam. Don't miss the fun.
Now to your Code Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Weekend birthday shout-outs and happy birthday to Jenny Calvo. We love you so much as a very, very proud family for everything you do and the beautiful person that you are. Absolutely agree. Love Toby, Nina, Mom, Dad, all your siblings, all of them, and the entire family and all of your friends. Happy birthday, Jen. And on Sunday, happy big third birthday to Kyrie Storm, to Haji Cruz, and to our sissy and future veterinarian. Hey, nice. Great job. We hope it's filled with all the KFC lunch dates, annual sighting adventures, and wearing your favorite swimsuit, having fun in the sun, and splashing with the fishies. May God bless and protect you always. We love you. Say your bros, Ashton and Andrew Jr.
That's it for us here on Weekend Edition. For more news, go to KUAM.com or visit us at KUAM News on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. You can also watch us on Peacock. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. Have a safe